Yes.
You poisoned yourself with cyclogen. What's the over-under on Kevin and I getting shot?
Married?
No, shot in Texas. They
Um,
don't carry guns out there everywhere, right?
But they're very respectful.
actually,
Yeah, but me and you aren't.
yeah. No, I think that it'll be like, I mean, it'll be like what do you call it? A movie where two buddies go to like a fish out of water type story where it's almost like Coming to America, but actually it is Coming to America. You and Kevin come to America like two kings, you know?
No, you know what I want to do, John? I don't know if Josh would do this with me, but I want to go and knock on people's doors. Like, you know, and when they open, like, hi, my name is Kevin Sanchez. I'm from New York. I'm a comedian from New York City, and I want to shoot guns. And then they be like, well, you came in the right place. And then we just start shooting and blowing up shit, bro.
I don't know, Kevin. I don't know if you're the
Wait a
right
second.
guy to be
The way I saw that happen is that you go to a house and you knock on the door and you're like, we're from New York and we want to shoot guns.
Right.
And they're like, hell yeah. And then they just start shooting at you like heavy artillery. They're blowing up the entire town.
Nah, he's gonna make.
You guys are just running through explosions like a war zone, and you go around and do that to every single house.
He's gonna make Kevin dance. He's gonna have a fucking revolvers and shoot at Kevin's feet.
No, what I think is gonna happen is that you're gonna meet regular, normal people who are like nice and normal, and to each of them, you're gonna be like, "You're a dumb redneck, right? You like guns, you like Trump," and they're like, no, I don't know why you're talking to me like that. Why are you such an asshole?
You know, I'm curious as to wherever we end up going, because I don't want to stay in the house for another 2-3 months, which it looks very much like it's going to be. What's the reception going to be for New Yorkers, not just us?
Especially New Yorkers coming from ground zero of the COVID virus, where the rules of the country are stay inside and don't move, and you guys are like, nah, we're actually going to go to you guys who don't have the disease as bad. They might not be.
I feel like it's, Kevin might not remember this, but, you know, when we had the AIDS epidemic in, like, the 80s and 90s, and, like, in the beginning, they would, like, be like, no, you can hug them, you won't get AIDS, you know? And, like, they would, like, introduce, like, reacclimating people who actually have HIV and AIDS to society, you know? Like, I think there's going to be a transitioning stage where they're like, I don't want to touch no damn New Yorkers, man.
Yo, and how great would it be is if you went everywhere in matching Corona Light jerseys.
Speaking of, I'm wearing a fucking Bud Light t-shirt. That's the sad state of my life right now.
That should be the antidote.
You better put a goddamn Bud Light shirt on the
Bud. They should name like COVID-19 antivirus just found, and it's like BUD 13 or something like that, or some type of.
Honestly, Bud Light should definitely sponsor a vaccine.
Yeah, for sure.
For sure, 100%.
All the beer companies should like be in an arms race to see who can get there faster.
Oh, dude, because you know, listen, legit Corona, the beer, really took losses.
They didn't go take losses. It's done. They
done?
shut doors.
Corona's out of business for good.
Corona's out of business.
Oh, shit.
There's no more Corona beer.
I read that the company's closed.
You know what? I don't need to read. I'm just going to believe that from now on. Can we get back to what this podcast is all about, which is just believing the most insane shit that's said? Corona doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah,
Corona
no,
doesn't exist in our world, bro.
And you know why the company did it? The company was like, the only way for coronavirus to be wiped off the face of the earth is if we quit, because we're spreading the spirit of Corona through having Corona beer, celebrating the word Corona.
Well, from what I heard, I don't know if you noticed, there's a lot of hard seltzer now. Like, it's the big thing. Everybody drinks hard seltzer. They saw Corona as the last peg of their, resistance to monopolizing and really taking over the market. So they needed to do whatever they could to get get rid of Corona. And, there used to be the rumors that, I don't know if you've ever heard this, but this is a real rumor that in Mexico, Mexicans don't drink Corona, and the Mexicans in the plant in Corona would pee in the Corona.
Yeah.
So that was like a thing that people used to say.
That
so they've been trying this for a while.
That's true. But then I think it's a step too far that Anheuser-Busch imported Corona to this country to get everybody sick and kill their competition.
Right. Well, there's also still, you have to also remember, it's a German company.
Oh, yeah. They only know how to do one thing well.
Yeah, kill on mass level. And it's an old beef. We have an old score to settle. Yeah. Oh, me and Kevin jumped down. Oh, my God. Leonardo's boyfriend hooked us up with the dopest site in the world for every fucking cartoon you ever want to watch. I was trying to find Rick and Morty, the new season. And it's
you guys are like full on Rick and Morty.
It's great, John. You're gonna love it. You gotta watch it.
One of the best fucking cartoons ever.
And the smarter you are, the more you're gonna love it. And that's why I really want you to watch it. But anyway, we go to this fucking website. They have every fucking cartoon ever created.
Ever.
I told Kevin, I was like, let's start jumping in on some like super obscure Asian manga. And like, it was a fucking trip, man. We were watching shit from like China. And you know what me and Kevin noticed, John? They draw all their cartoons like white people.
What?
Yeah.
What do you mean by that?
Their characters don't look... Actually, here was the thing. The older ones, like from 10 years ago, all the characters look white. Up in, like from all the way to the 80s and 70s. I'm talking about the original Transformers. I'm talking about like... All those things are sourced from Japan and China.
Right.
Those original cartoons. The characters are not drawn with Asian-looking features. They look like the whitest people in the world. And Kevin, we were talking about like why they would do that, and we were like, I think, Kevin, we nuked them so bad that they like cucked out. They're like, we're not even going to draw ourselves in the cartoons.
Whoa. So you're saying, well, I mean, you don't think that, I think that some cartoons have Asian look to them. I mean, where's all that shit? Like, when I think of like anime style, I think of like people's hair being like in like 18 different triangles off their head. And I'm like, that doesn't read necessarily as white person to me.
The masturbatory anime that you're talking about, that started coming around in like the 80s and 90s.
Right.
But that's
what you were talking about were cartoons from the 80s and 90s.
No. But what you're talking about is like it was for like dudes jerking off, bro. That was like a niche fucking like
weirdo. I mean, I would say that's even in like Final Fantasy type artwork. That's like basically anime.
Listen, didn't we just say that we're not going to go based off of facts, John?
You're right.
Based off of beliefs.
No, you're right. I'm sorry. And I'm actually sorry. Sorry. That's not cool of me.
It was a very scientific study. We watched 3 different episodes. Okay?
Yeah, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying, and you're right.
There was this one part of the episode where they stopped at the girl's feet.
Right? I told John, Kevin didn't know about this.
I didn't know about this.
John, you know about binding?
Oh, so, yeah.
I didn't know, like, her feet was like crazy small in this cartoon.
It wasn't even that, John. They stopped on this girl they stopped on her feet in the cartoon, and they paused for like longer than they should have. And I go to Kevin, like, you know why and her feet are mad tiny. I go, you know why they did that, Kev? He's like, why?
So like, all the people in the animation studio could give each other a high five. Like, yeah, hell yeah. Smallest feet in the game, motherfucker.
I told for our listeners who don't know this, it's a big attraction thing in the Asian society to have small feet. And then I showed Kevin what it would look like because they used to wrap women's feet. You know about that, right, John?
In the 80s and 90s.
Up until the 80s and 90s, maybe the 80s, they used to wrap women's feet and bind them so that they wouldn't grow larger. And you can go on if you Google.
I know that. Well, what would happen is they'd bind the feet, and then the tits would grow big.
The tits would grow. I don't think
the blood got to go somewhere.
Exactly. It's an ancient Chinese secret.
Yeah, and then they get deformed. Their feet grow into these like stubby things.
But it's weird because if you look at, there's something weird because like, women also like put themselves through hell wearing certain really restrictive shoes that fuck their feet up. And it's like, they're always like, they'll wear these fucking crazy feet things, these like, heels that are like really fucking their feet up. And they'll be like, you guys want this. And I'm like, no, I've never even thought of that before. I don't even know what the fuck I wouldn't like a high heel. High heel doesn't do anything for me.
Does everything for me, man.
Oh, all right.
All
a high heel does is make a woman seem more out of my league.
That's what you want.
Because like they're my height in high heels, then it's like they would just.
You're telling me right now, John. You're telling me right now, Carol. First day that you were allowed to like end social distancing.
Right.
Come to your house in a pair of high heels, 6-inch stilettos. Okay?
Okay.
Knocks on your door. You're like, damn, bitch, you mad tall these days. Right? She walks.
That's exactly. Yo, can we record this sketch?
Yes. And also,
Kevin does the voiceover.
Actually, let's play it all the way through.
Right? You're like, damn, bitch, you mad tall these days. And you don't even look. And then.
Yo, I want to drunk history this where like
me too.
And then we act out exactly what he says. Keep going, Kevin. Sorry to pause you. I won't do it again.
Okay, she knocks on the door. You open it. She's in 6-inch stilettos. You're like, yo, hey, yo, bitch, you mad tall these days. And you look down. She's like, this is for you, daddy. And she pushes you into the house. Right? You're like, oh my God, what's going on? And she gets on her knees and she starts sucking that dick. You telling me that's not sexy?
Of course I'm not telling you that's not sexy. That might be the sexiest thing I've ever heard in my life. I mean, I had a mind to drop my drawers and start slapping it that story right now. But then I remembered that we were still on the free episode.
Oh man.
You gotta go to the fucking Patreon for that one.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. I mean, wow. I really do.
I'm gonna text Carol and I'm gonna tell her to do this.
We're gonna shoot it.
I think if a woman is an overall average 6, if she puts high heels on, gives her an extra point at least. Wow. She goes from a 6 to a 7 in high heels, man. It makes the ass look nice. It makes them look tall. They look like fucking like sexy giraffes.
Wow. Yeah, man. I mean, I guess like it was never me being on the shorter side of things. Hey, listen, a guy like me, I'm on the shorter side of things.
It doesn't matter, dude.
It does. It does.
John.
It does matter. Well,
I'm tall. You know how tall. I'm fucking 6 foot. And,
right.
If I wear my fucking, one of my big shoes, I could be up to 6'2". I mean, I dated, I dated a Brazilian woman, beautiful woman. I went on a date with her. She was the most beautiful woman. If you go on a date with a woman and everywhere you go, she's the most beautiful woman in the world, it's a fucking trip.
Oh, I remember this era. This was a good era.
But she's already tall because she's a model, so she's probably 5'8", 5'9", and she threw on a pair of fucking like 6-inch heels. She was towering. Huh?
Stilettos,
dude. She was towering over me, and you know what? I liked it, and I think you would like it too.
Yeah,
John. It's
listen. Sometimes I wish I could just shrink myself down and just be placed right between a woman's boobs, and then just stay there all day.
That's what it's like.
That's really, I less want to have sex and more want to just be smushed between some boobs forever and just die there.
Listen, I love sex tremendously, but like just being in the presence of an attractive woman and like in her fucking like having her wrapped up around you, it's the most blissful thing.
Richard Branson of Virgin Media can't even think unless he's holding a half-naked 20-something woman.
That's fucking. I get it.
Yeah,
get it.
That's where his best ideas come from.
Yo,
most ideas come from beautiful women being around you.
Mm-hmm.
Most great ideas come from that shit. Like,
Yeah.
you'd be like, why? Because most people that bring out these great ideas when there's beautiful women around them.
And Kevin, I'm glad you bring this up because I always wonder why, if that's so true, then why Josh has never had any great ideas.
Josh has a ton of great ideas.
Yeah, you just
His
don't believe
problem
it.
is doing them.
Interesting. Oh, all right. Well, high five for also dissing him also. I thought you were going to turn your back on me for a second, but you turned around and punched the guy behind you. I like it.
Josh has some of the best ideas I've ever heard.
Listen,
He just...
go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he was around a lot of beautiful women, and that was the thing that I was saying.
Someone sent Kev. It was one of the funniest things I've seen in a while. On a dating profile, it was a Rubenesque woman, a very large woman, and they ask you like question prompts about yourself, and the question prompt was, if you could solve one thing, what would it be? And it said hunger.
Hell yes.
It was the size of a house.
Oh my goodness, yo.
Our female listeners, let's stay in shape.
Oh.
So you guys are all fucked up. You're already moving to Texas soon. How soon?
As soon as we have money, man.
As soon as the money comes in, baby.
I'm gonna go first fly to Florida and stay with my kid for like 2-3 days so I can hug my son for the first time in 2 months. And
then I'm gonna be in Dallas while he's there, and I'm gonna be with Shorty, that's been dying to see me.
Kevin has to pay for our laptop.
Yeah.
That we haven't used. He's got it on consignment. He has to.
Wait a second. Hell yes.
Yeah.
This is more important. Tell us the whole story. This is very. By the way,
I can't do it on the free.
Okay, fair enough.
This is
Just say Kevin is gonna have to be a man whore.
No. Excuse me.
Yeah.
A man whore.
Yeah,
a gigolo. Excuse me, a gigolo.
A gigolo.
Terminology.
I'm sorry. You're a professional, Kevin.
Thank you.
Shit, dude. So that's coming up soon. So you guys are basically. That's cool. Well, you know what they say about New York. If you can make it here, you can make it anywhere.
Speaking of, did I tell you, John, that fucking Mr. Colin Sick unfriended me?
Why?
I don't know. I have no idea. And I wrote him. I know. And I wrote him 2 days ago. And I was like, yo, Steve, why'd you unfriend me? And you could tell if somebody read your message, and he read it, and he never wrote me back.
That is very weird, because he called me really cap in hand, trying to be like, hey, listen, I want to still know that I have people around me that like me. Right. And I was like, of all the people who were pissed off about what the fuck's his name? Colin Sick. Of all the people who were mad about Colin Sick fucking around on the show, I was the most mad. You guys were cool with it.
I had my problems.
Had I not fired him, he would still be on the show. You know what I mean? We were like, so,
well, this is my theory. I was trying to think about it in my head. I don't think I ever did, but because you remember you said he listens to the episode?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I have to review it. Maybe I said something.
Why, you said some mean shit to him?
I don't think I did. I think you always say the meanest shit, man.
Absolutely. I better.
Yeah.
Listen.
It's your brand.
And the day that I don't, let me just, what do you call? Till I collapse.
Sometimes I feel like not saying bad things to people
Sometimes I see
chance and being supportive.
Yeah, sometimes I see my friends on my podcast enjoying their life, feeling like they're good at something, and
That's
I know
the time when you gotta be meaner and less encouraging and tell people what a piece of shit they are.
that is a worth. I should do an 8 Mile
You
parody
better abuse yourself.
of me getting ready for the podcast. In the mirror, like fucking looking at myself in the mirror, looking at a picture. I'll be like looking at your sketch, looking at your sketch on Instagram, like
About to like it.
typing in a mean comment and then erasing it. Like
you have to find that courage to not give up, not be a nice guy.
Tell your friend he's an asshole. Tell him, insult the way he looks, insult how fat he is. Insult the life choices he's made. Tell him he's going to be a failure. Tell him he's no matter where he moves, he's going to be stuck with himself.
Yo, that's the most fucked up shit you can tell to somebody. Yo, it don't matter where you move, nigga, you still gonna be with you. It's
true. You gotta wake up with yourself, man.
Oh my goodness, yo. I just need to start a new life. It's no new life, bro. You're still gonna be you, and you're a loser.
Yeah, and that's what I wanted to come to this episode. I don't know what you guys are planning, but it's gonna fail. You gotta lose yourself in the music the moment you
John?
Yeah.
John?
Yes.
It's not true.
It is not true. It is not true.
Do not miss your chance to hurt.
Because opportunity comes twice in a week.
Twice in a weekend. You better hurt.
You better. Oh man, that feels great. And I'm so glad that I pressed record on the Zoom and pressed record on the other Zoom 10 minutes into the episode.
So we didn't record that?
No, we did. We recorded both of them, but the video episode is late. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to record the video all the way into the Patreon, and that'll be what the Patreon people get.
Oh, cool.
Because then I won't have to stop and we can just riff. Anyway.
Who's been uploading this stuff to YouTube?
I have. I've been doing everything. Who's been? God bless you, dude.
You've been
never change. The fucking, it's great.
Well, I thought maybe Canis had taken that.
Canis, no. Canis posts on Facebook about it. About the podcast.
How is Canis? Have you spoken to him?
I haven't spoken to him, but he seems to be doing all right.
Yeah.
I think
like shouting him out much lately.
Well, on Instagram, I feel like I see him a little bit. I see him. No, I mean, like, Canis is around. Canis is good people. He's our fan.
Yeah, he's a good fan.
I mean, I really mean that. He's our fan.
That's our man, 50 grand.
Yeah, he's the best.
So, did you do some changing in your background? I just see. So, is that your green screen is up now, or
no? What usually I was facing this way.
Yes.
But so before we started, I was gonna try to like fucking really get my shit set up, but it didn't work out. So I'm just doing it in front of where I would have been doing it with like everything set up. So
I didn't get a chance to watch the Murder Hornets yet.
That's cool, dude.
Yeah. How was it received?
I think it went a lot better than last week's. Last week's was sort of like not a big episode, but I mean, I should know that when I pick a disgusting, horrible spider to be the subject of my video.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's scary. It's a fucking gross thing. And that not a lot of people like that. So, meanwhile, this thing, everyone's talking about it. So, it did in one day what the other one did in 1 week. So I was like, wow, that's fucking insane.
Well, I remember you were like hesitant to do it because you didn't want to like jump. It's not very punk to do what everyone's doing. But I told John.
Yeah.
I don't remember this. I said, it doesn't matter what you're doing. They're not really necessarily coming to see the fucking bee. Like, it's interesting what you pick. they're coming to hear your perspective on it. So
exactly. And I think that like that attitude that I've had about, you know, living my life through the lens of like if it's punk or not. And I don't really feel like I even do it, but it definitely does influence me or like sort of make me how I am. I don't know that that's like the most important thing that I should hold on to all the time. It's crazy. It's just an element of my craziness that hinders me.
Yo,
that's what makes people brilliant. It's when you're crazy.
Yo, I think when we come back from quarantine, like when New York City's back,
Yeah, you guys will be in Texas. What the fuck will you know about that?
I think when most of America and big cities come back, I think there's gonna be a lot of fights.
Physical fights, just to feel like it was again.
Fights, bro.
But if people are social distancing, there should be less fights, shouldn't there?
Yeah. What if like you're about to get into a fight with somebody and then you cough like, now what? Now what, bitch? I'm sick.
And you sneeze on that nigga. But
Yeah.
what I'm saying is, like, when I was walking, I went to the store and I was coming back, and I was high on shrooms, and the doorman, who I never see outside, I only see him, you know, in the building. He is going home. Right? His shift is over. And I don't know anyone in his neighborhood. So I'm not expecting anyone to stop me in the street or anything like that. And it's like 10 p.m. I'm walking to the building, and this dude stops suddenly. And like a real weirdo, okay? He stops in his fucking tracks, makes me stop in my tracks, and he goes, "Hey!" I almost smacked the shit out of him. I almost fucked him up. Because one, I wasn't wearing a mask, so I thought it was a guy yelling at me for not wearing a mask.
Whoa.
Right?
Yeah.
And I'm just not used to contact with people right now.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's like you're almost breaking a rule when you invade someone's space, you know?
So I think there's going to be a lot of motherfucking fights on the train. There's going to be fucking fights. Like when we start going to bars a little bit more, like it's gonna be wild, yo.
You think it's gonna be like a learning curve getting back into because living in New York City, it's a high contact city, it's a high pressure city, and people like we've lived here our whole lives, so like it's ingrained in us. But people who've been not living here their whole life, or even if they have and they've been taken out of that ebb and flow of daily life for 2 months. And then they have to refigure out how it is being all fucking up on somebody. It could, I believe your theory might have some truth to it, Kevin.
Yeah, I mean, I think that it's going to echo through our culture.
Crime going to go up, baby.
I mean, all different stuff is going to change. I mean, not just, I mean, I don't think the city will be the same for a long time. And I don't even know what that looks like.
No, city?
I don't think the city will be the same, and I don't know what that looks like in my head.
Oh, the city's gonna go back to the I think it's gonna go back to like the 80s, the 90s in a way.
Kevin, you swallowed the microphone.
What happened there? Yeah. Is the microphone in your asshole again?
No, sorry. It's on my pillow.
Yeah.
And sometimes that fucks it up.
That's cool.
I think it's gonna go back to the 80s or the 90s, and it's gonna be a lot more crime.
And they're gonna draw all the people like white people?
No, well, I think Josh's friends, like his fucking real estate friends, they're all saying these people are giving up their apartments, bro. They're going back to their fucking home states in Cleveland and shit, Ohio and shit. They're not fucking around, bro. They don't want to come back here.
Like people who have the option to not, like people, I have my survival job is I do relocation for real estate. So like I get executives who are being transferred to New York City. Most of them like either requested it or their company was like, "Hey, you want to come to New York?" Because it's not a very sexy thing to offer to clients. They give them a small,
You told me some of the spots. It's ridiculous, the living space.
They give you a small cost of living increase, but it's not that sexy coming to live in New York. You get a shitty small apartment. These are people who are coming from, let's say, North Carolina they've got a fucking giant 2-bedroom or duplex
Yeah.
for $1,000. They come to New York. You can't get a studio for less than $2,200, you know, that you want to live in. So I think,
changing, son.
Say again?
That's all gonna change, bro.
So I don't know what kind of business. I mean, this is my survival job, so I guess I'm gonna have to make grading animal videos and figure it out.
You'd never do that.
No, we're gonna.
I love the idea that, yeah. All right, well, listen, I know I have a 54 episode start, but jump in anytime.
I think you'd be grading animals with a Z, though.
Yeah, I mean, listen.
look at that, even the prospect.
I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I know. You know, the crazy thing about my reaction to that is that in my head, like in that reality, you actually do that.
Yeah, I know, because you're schizo. What's up with the Mayors and Caps stuff that you recorded? When is that coming?
Yo, man. So we have this guitarist, James Godet. He lives in Boston, and he's been recording. We've been scoring it with him. It's actually really cool. So like, I found this. We found each other through Instagram. This guitarist, and like every one of his tracks is like better than the next. It's like really like jazzy, like 60s, 50s, 60s, 70s sounds of a guitar, and he's like good enough that it's like, man, is this an old record I'm hearing?
Wow.
But he doesn't show off enough that it's like, it feels like it's just from another time but current. So we asked him, like, would you want to score the thing? And we sort of came up with an arrangement, and he sent a bunch of tracks. Some of them were working in places. And then like I had a conversation with him, like, oh, here's more what we're looking for. And he sent another like bunch of just like riff ideas that he made while playing to the episode. And I took those and I like collaged different stuff that he did, like to different parts, like put a beginning there, cut and paste it. And then me and Marianne sent that back to him and had a conversation with him today. We're like, this is kind of like what we're thinking now, but we would have never come up with it if you hadn't made these things at first. So it really felt like a collaboration. Like he sort of like drew with his guitar over our episode, and then I was like, cut it up and then showed that to him. And now he's like, oh, I see what you're saying. So long story short, after that's done, the director said he wanted to make Marianne do some more ADR stuff, but I'm almost like, dude, it's going to look so done after this.
Right.
This guy also is a big fan of like the guy from Twin Peaks.
Right.
You know, like
the main character?
No, the music. Angela, but anyways. So, but the thing about like bringing it up with Mayors and Caps is that like I went from a very like upset feeling about the state of the pilot. Like I've talked about on this show how ups and downs it's been, from like the shooting to the reshoot to like the problem with the editing and like the disconnect between all the people. So since then, so we've worked with the editor since the quarantine started, and we got an edit that like me and Marianne are both like, well, we like it. Like it's what we wanted to make. That's it. So we got the okay, the director's happy with it. We're happy with it. So we got that, and like, all right, we're going to take it and we're going to get the sound done. Marianne, that was me and Marianne's project. And now we're like, man, once this part is like awesome, then I'm like, this is going to be awesome. So that's where it is. Like, of course, like there's no festivals now to put it into. There's no potential buyers. There's no this, that, but from like the journey of like writing it and to finishing it, it's almost done. And then of course we're going to try to, like any creative people are all in the same boat. Like, what do we do with this? What do we do with that? You know what I mean? Like there's nobody to make a pilot, and maybe that won't come back till who knows when, but at least we have this thing that we did, and you know,
that's nice.
And me and her are working on stuff all the time anyway. So
yeah, you guys have another sketch coming out right now?
Yep.
What is it? Want to give us a sneak peek?
It's about that we start a book club.
A book club?
Yeah.
Are you in a book club ever? Have you been in a book club?
me and Marianne were going to start a book club, and that's what it's basically.
Were you really?
Yes. I mean, we really leave it all on the table. In this episode, we leave it all on the table about what happened with the book club. These new episodes are so bluntly stupid to like counteract how smarty pants grading animals is.
Good.
You know?
I think that, I mean, if anything, this quarantine is it's gonna birth some really, really good content.
I think so.
I'd like to see the world get back to some sort of normality, so we can gauge at least where the hell everything is.
I mean, it is like sort of deluding yourself. I mean, I even feel like that a little bit for myself. Like you're doing the work that you would want to be doing. You know, like I think of like if I've had corona fears. I don't know if you guys have had corona fears. Have you guys had at any point?
On.
2 months ago, maybe.
2 months ago, like when it first came out, I was like, "Oh shit, I'm gonna have this shit."
Like when you were sick the first time, I thought maybe I had it.
Right. Well, I've gotten corona pangs here and there about like thinking about, oh, I get sick somehow. Like somehow I didn't wash something and I get sick. And then I start to really deteriorate. In the first week, I'm like, I'm just too weak. I can't sustain the level of productivity that I've been sustaining because I'm a healthy person, living at home, living simply, putting like fucking 11 hours into a thing every day. You know what I mean? Like I start getting sick. And then like, I'm like, oh no, like shit, I'm going to die. I'm not prepared for this. Like I'm too weak. I am of the stock that would have died back in the fucking caveman days. You can argue with it, but like, we're nerdy Jews. Like that's, you know, our people are not like the fucking athletes. You know what I mean?
Right.
Maybe my Mayan genes helped that out a little bit because they were like running in the jungle or something like that. But so then I think like, okay, and I get sick and I die and that's it. And I'm like, okay, well, at least in the very last days, I was still keeping the dream alive. Like I was fucking, they're going to find like this makeshift studio that I built and like a computer full of like
porn.
I probably would leave instructions of like, please finish the edit on the Ginkgo biloba episode and like, you know, please release these podcasts. I probably would like, cause like, what else does my life amount to except this crazy bullshit?
So you die tomorrow, they find your room and then that's it. So a few days later, your shit's all like sold for auction.
What shit? I live in like 2.5 rooms.
Yeah, well, like I mean, like your equipment and stuff. Well, me and Kevin are supposed to go and steal it, but
yeah, but like anything, you'll never do it.
Long Island is on a map.
No, so that's my corona fears.
You think Karen will give us your address?
No, in my dying notes, I'll be like, and don't give those two more.
So let me. Do you have any regrets? Let's say you are going to die, John.
Yes.
What are your regrets?
Serious.
Don't make it a joke.
Oh, okay. My regrets? Well, you know, the thing about regrets is it like makes you think like you are the person you are because you make the type of decisions you make, or are you the person you are except in certain times you weren't, you denied yourself. Do you follow me?
Yes.
Like, you know, I like think of all the times that like when I was 11 years old or 12 years old in those early moments when I was like too scared to talk to a girl or something like that, you know? And it's like, is that who I am? Or if I had confidence in that moment, would that be me?
Right.
You know what I mean? Or are we just what we are all the time? And, you know, like that's, you know, regrets is that, oh, you would have done that if you were somebody else, but you're not that person. So what happened to you happened to you.
Right.
And the only other chance factor is that, oh, I was either born during the Holocaust or during the Depression or not. I happened to be born in this pocket of peace between like the Vietnam War and Corona, that I was able to live like a clear run without some outside factor fucking my life up. And that's my regrets.
Okay. Kevin?
I ain't stuck on enough titties.
He's so smart. See,
No,
he's so much smarter than me.
If I were to regret,
Correct answer.
is that if I were to regret anything, is what John said. Is just in the beginning, like when I was in my early 20s, and I had bullish confidence, and like I had like a mixture of bullish confidence and like no confidence, you know, and just not fucking like immersing myself in like things that I wanted so desperately to be in, but I didn't want to be judged. I'm like, oh shit, I have no experience in that shit. And it's like, I was 20. No one at 20 has experience doing anything. But you don't know that at 20, because all you see is people you love. And you like, oh shit, I wish I was with these motherfuckers. You know, I wish I was with Jim Norton and Patrice O'Neal and fucking, I wish I was with those guys. But it's like, they're not 20. They don't, even if you were doing comedy from 15 years old to 20, they still wouldn't want to hang out with you because you're 20. You don't know anything. You stink. You have the worst ideas. You know? So I guess I don't regret dick.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. I think his first answer was correct. Didn't suck on enough titties. I second that. That's also my regret. I'm going to change my regret.
Nah, honestly, I hate titty sucking.
Really?
I know. This is disgusting to me.
I hate titty sucking. It's
Really?
like, why are you doing this? It tastes like nothing. It don't do, I mean, it's like, bitch, why are you affected by your nipple being fucking, I had my titty sucked one time.
This guy, are you gay, dude? You're gay, dude. You're saying you only like buttholes and you hate titties? That's like that's the most misogynistic thing that I've ever heard you say.
Kevin, the point of sex is to reproduce, even though it's for humans, our reward is pleasure. But the point is to reproduce. So the reason women want their tits sucked upon is because it stimulates the same, even though they'll never equivocate the two, it stimulates the same things as breastfeeding. It's a
I can believe that.
It's a stimulation of the breast. The body is, trained, it's evolved over
Josh,
to encourage these things.
Josh, I love that. Respect. I'm trying to come.
Bro, listen, man.
Hey, listen, he said it himself. He's a 20-year-old with the dumbest ideas.
I love sucking titties, man.
Yeah, no, I would never disrespect titties like that. Titties are the best thing of all time. And I'm not like Kevin Sanchez here, who hates titties and the things that they're attached to women.
You don't like getting your face between like breasts?
What? I mean, that's all I earlier said in the episode, that's all I ever want.
I don't understand that, Kevin. You don't like that?
I like ass better. I like ass and
so pussy. Like you could be with like a fucking chick with like
he only likes
listen, I love the way titties look. They're attractive. But what I'm saying is like I don't see the lure in sucking on titties.
You don't want to like grab them and like mush them.
Jesus Christ. You're disgusting. You disgust me, Kevin. And Josh, I want to take back everything I've ever said about you and apply it to Kevin times 20. You suck, dude. How dare you?
Hey, bro.
I don't even know why I allow you on this podcast.
I tell you what. I tell you what. One time I did titty fuck a girl. I did it a couple times, but recently I titty fucked a girl a couple months ago, and it was pretty cool.
Hell yeah, man.
That was pretty cool.
Bro, soft breasts.
But she knew what she was doing. Like, she knew how to cause friction in between my penis and her titties.
It's a skill. I mean,
that's a skill.
Titty fucking is not easy. It's not good if done incorrectly. And listen, I would say that don't try it unless you're C cup or higher.
This girl was like 34 double D.
Yeah.
I mean, Tego bitties, bro. Like big motherfucking titties. But also, big titties sometimes stink.
What?
Yeah, big titties stink.
Again with this blasphemy.
No. The smell.
Yeah. I've never smelled smelly titties.
I once had some big ass titties in my face, and honestly, that really ruined titties for me.
That's what happened because I've never smelled that.
That is part of your origin story. It's like, you know how, like the Joker has this iconic moment. Batman has this iconic moment when his family is killed. Like, and it's like in every movie and it's redone. That's part of the mythology of Kevin. The day titties were ruined. And it's like a dark day. And it's why he has this dark sense of humor and ultimately why he hates women.
Listen, don't let John say those things about your boy, Kevin Sanchez. Kevin Sanchez love women. Yeah. Women love Kevin.
Just that he only hates their beautiful breasts.
Yeah. Kevin is pro breast cancer.
Whoa.
Actually, Josh, if you were a real podcast mate, you'd make memes of all the horrible campaign slogans I come up with for Kevin. You would go through the episode.
How far that would get, Kevin.
And you would make an arsenal of these memes up, and then you would just show Kevin them every day and be like, I can just post just one if you don't do what I say, if you don't clean up this mess. Ah, shit.
Blackmail him.
Yeah, there we go.
I want to hear about these smelly tits. Was it a hot day?
Yo, homie, it was the winter. It was December.
Oh, no. Well, maybe
those were sweater. That's sweater sweat. From layers.
It could have been sweater titties.
Sweater titties, yeah.
Twitties.
You put upon titties what you should have been blaming on a sweater.
You might be right, bro.
Wow. Yeah.
This is why you always talk to Jews.
Yo, these Jews not only helped me with my divorce, but they helped solve my titty issue.
One of my first titty memories was my father.
I'm so glad that we brought it back to
what this podcast is. Yes. This is why we do this show.
I had the lead in like a class play in like third grade, I think.
Yeah.
And my father, who never like really showed up to anything, came to this play. Okay. And he brought his like super hot blonde bimbo girlfriend at the time. Actually, no, this was another occasion. It was my birthday. My father was throwing me a birthday party in his nightclub on Queens Boulevard. I was 9 years old. And I was there with my childhood best friends. And, you'd be surprised. You're 8 or 9. You're already talking about titties. At least we were. We were talking about tits and all types of terrible shit. And
I was jerking off the Miss Griffin titty.
They had a birthday cake for me, and she went to cut the cake. And she, like, reached over, and she had these banana tits. You see banana tits?
Let me tell you, when you're young, seeing any tits in real life in any way, except for, like, maybe really, really old women titties, like, is, like, life-changing.
That was my entire childhood. My dad used to take me to strip clubs when I was 5. But she bent over, and John, she had, like if a woman is like, she's like bent over, the way her skin goes, it kind of like gives a slope to it.
Yes.
And me and my friend all looked down her shirt, and in my head, they literally looked like bananas, like bananas like this. And I thought women's tits actually look like this. I didn't realize it was because of gravity and the way they were going. So women had bananas underneath their fucking tits.
That is pretty amazing. I mean, it does sound like something you would think. But no, I remember. I was going to say.
Is that why you eat bananas the way you do?
I eat bananas the way I do.
You suck on the end of the banana till it gets all mushy.
I eat my bananas very hetero. I cut them up into pieces just in case. Kevin was very polite today. He ordered Chinese food and he got me something, John. And he was like, "Hey, bud, I got you some Chinese." And he goes, "It's all vegetables." And I open it up. There's slabs of pork. I was like, "Thanks, Kevin."
Kevin didn't know that pork was a vegetable until today.
It wasn't a vegetable.
Yeah.
Man, yo, I don't know. I ordered from a Korean spot. It was all veggie shit. That's what the description was all veggie shit. So I ordered it, and then, like Josh said earlier, the pork was free.
Well, I was going to say this to close out the episode about titties, is that, listen, I may have only had like 3 or 4 girlfriends in my life, and they may have all, you know, like I always felt like, you know, after the relationship was over, devastated, you know, had to like really cobble my life together because I was so distraught. I always took breakups super hard, fuck my life up, right? But never, ever did I put any of my anger or hurt onto the girls' titties. You know, to me, I felt like they were innocent bystanders in a thing that happened between me and my girlfriend.
I think
you ever been with a girl who, like, she was beautiful, you know, when she had clothes on, but she lost a lot of weight, and then like her titty weight left with her stomach weight?
No.
Like deflated bag?
Not enough data. You know, when you search that part of my brain, there's like, it says not enough data to make this.
Like her titty fat went away with her stomach fat.
So she had like deflated?
Yeah, it was like deflated titties, yo. I had a girl with deflated titties, bro.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow. You know what? I have some PTSD when it comes to titties, bro.
Wow. That's sad.
Because also she looked perfect. Like, I expected her, like, because she had push-up bras and shit. And I just expected the best titties I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
And when when she took off her bra, I was in love with her. So I didn't really care. But it was tough to look at. Like, wow. I used to ask her to keep the bra on because it was sexy.
But by that time, you hated tits. You just didn't even want them anywhere near your sexual experience.
Keep the bag over you.
Titties and pussies, you'd like get them out of my way for sex. All you want to consider is the butt and the butthole. That's like your thing. That's like your favorite thing.
He's talking about smelly tits and he's sticking his fucking face in asshole.
He's like, these tits smell like shit.
No, John, I got a little over gregarious. What's the word I'm looking for?
I don't know. You don't know either.
When I first, after I split with my ex, and like I was on like on a whoring spree, like before I met you guys, and I had a Tinder hookup, and she came to my house and we fucked like on 3-4 occasions, and on the 4th occasion she showed up, and I was just like, she was a facially not the most attractive woman, but had like a really nice. She was like okay, she wasn't awful, you know?
Yeah.
But, but anyway, she was a nice girl. Like,
but facially not much to look at.
She was listen, I'm a fucking disgusting person, bro. You know, like physically. But
oh man, how much I wish I could have said that to somebody in my lifetime, like a girlfriend. Listen, I've loved being with you, comma. Facially, you're not much to look at. Oh man, I wish.
I'm never recording this.
I wish I got to do. I want to do a sketch where a girl. You go.
Hey girl, your face is a lot to be desired.
I guess like being confronted with seeing like the sketch in my head is like you're in the airport or like someplace and you're like you pass a girl and you guys like reconnect and you're like, oh my God, I haven't seen you in so long. Like I haven't seen you in so long. Like what have you been doing with your life? And you're like, and she's like, oh wow, like, well, you know, I have this job, blah blah blah. You start talking about your lives and you're like, oh man, like maybe we should hang out again, just for old time's sake. And she's like sort of nice, but then she's like, well, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if we should do that. And then you're like, why not? And then she immediately pulls up the last text that you sent. And you're like, and the text says, listen, facially, you're not much to look at. And I'm like, oh, I said that? Oh, I said that? Oh, shit. Oh, my bad. I don't know why.
John, I wish sometimes you were more in my life.
Yeah. Sorry, what were you saying?
John, I wish you were more in my life. And Josh, you guys were more in my life back in the day. Because I have those experiences where, like, I go talk to a girl I used to talk to. And I'm like, yo, we should hang out again. And they're like, you don't remember what the fuck you said to me?
Wow.
And I'm like, no, what I said. And they'll say some shit. I'm like, I said that? Damn, son, you really fixed that, though. Like, you really fixed that whole situation. Yo. You should be thankful. Matter of fact, get me a drink. You should get me a drink. I deserve a drink for this.
Because you made her feel bad that she changed her life?
Yeah, it's like at least 5 of those.
Oh,
damn.
I did it with love in my heart. I did it was like, one was the girl with a smelly pussy. I told her. One was a chick. I didn't like the way she dressed. Like, I was like really fashionable at the time. And I was like, yo, you dress like a 12-year-old. It's disgusting. You got to fix this up. We're like, we're in our 20s now. What are you doing? And then a couple other things I don't remember.
That's in fact one of them was the sketch I made up.
To get back to the long story of the short, as I got back into the dating field, you hear all this shit about people eating ass and whatever it is. She came on the 4th time to my house, and I was just, I was horny as fuck, and I was super excited, and I'm fucking, I'm ripping her clothes off, and I shoved my face in her ass, and shit smelled like a fucking bologna sandwich, bro.
What?
Yeah, dude. I mean, what do you expect? It's a fucking ass, man. Like, who knows how long she's been walking around with her fucking pants on and shit.
Yeah.
I never.
You don't
it
think
wasn't like putrid, but it's like, it's an ass. What are you expecting? It's gonna smell like a fucking
hairy meat. It's just hairy meat that's been in a pant all day.
Hey, I eat banh.
Yeah. No, we get it. We get it. You like pussy.
One of our comedy friends posted a meme talking about the same subject. He goes, every time someone, it's a picture of a tongue with like a little, like a face on it and like an asshole, and like you could see into the asshole, and in the asshole there's a piece of shit, and the shit has like a face on it. It's like a caricature, and the tongue and the shit are about 2 inches away.
Yeah.
And he goes, anytime someone talks about eating ass, he goes, that's what I'm picturing.
Listen, that person's more like me. I'm not crazy about buttholes.
Yeah, neither am I.
I mean, listen, you can call me gay or whatever, but I'm just not crazy about buttholes.
Yeah. You a bag, John?
Yeah, that's right. You're a bag. I'm gay for not eating buttholes.
That's the problem with kids now in the future. They're like, my friends call me gay.
Yo, dude, I'm gay for not eating buttholes. Listen, if we do anything on this show. Oh, man. Well, anyway, listen, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause the recorder. I'm going to keep this one going.
Let's say goodnight and pull out, no?
Yeah, good night.
Obviously, say goodnight, no?
We obviously got to say goodnight. Thank you for listening to our free episodes. Join us on Patreon, or, I mean, it'll be harder for me to stay in my apartment. So, and yeah, I mean, and listen, Countdown to Texas, Low End Gigolos, the final episodes, the home stretch.
We're gonna do LEG stuff when we're out there. But good night and pull out.
Love you.
All right, and we're done with that episode. I'm gonna actually.
I'll be right back.